Hey, hope this finds you having an incredible Thursday wherever you are in the world. Question for you today: have you considered the impact that the coaches, teachers, mentors, all the other adults in your child's life are having on them, the long-term impact? It's interesting, I did some research recently, and the United States Census Bureau says that kids between the ages of 10 and 14 now spend the majority of their waking hours in the care of someone other than their parents. Makes sense, especially during the school year. You've got 7 hours, typically, more or less, at school. And then if your child's involved in at least one extracurricular activity, either before or after school, that's another 2 hours. Pretty soon you're up to 10 hours. They have to spend some time sleeping. You get what's left, okay? The reason that that's important is because just a generation ago, many kids, sure, they still went to school, but in the after-school hours in particular, came home, spent their time in the neighborhood, with friends, at the neighbor's house. If they were involved in sports or the arts, it was somewhere close by in the community, and it was for a minimal amount of time. That has completely changed over the course of just one generation. So really, as parents, we're new to this whole dynamic of kids spending a lot of time in the care of someone other than parents. Now, thinking back to your childhood years, everybody has a favorite teacher. That one person who seemed to really have an incredible impact on your life. They took a concern in you outside of what you were doing just in the classroom, really seemed to know who you were as a person, and then were able to use that information to really benefit you, help motivate you, inspire you towards greatness. And that, I think, that's one of the ideal qualities in a wonderful teacher, coach, mentor, that important adult in your child's life. So I'm going to encourage you to look for that, number one. Now, in my 20 plus years as a coach out on the soccer field, the majority of which were spent in a club soccer environment, I got to see some of the best in terms of coaching and what I would consider to be some of the worst. All right, so I want to share with you a couple of coaches, one in particular. Let's call him Coach Sean, a colleague of mine. And what I really admired about him was, again, the fact that he took an interest in his players outside of the soccer field. Yes, he taught them incredible skills, but beyond that, he got to know the families, got to know what their other interests were, and then because he showed that personal interest, was able to inspire the kids on the field. Okay, so that personal connection, number one. Okay? But then when he was critiquing on the field, the critique came with a little bit more caring. It wasn't the coach that was just over there yelling on the sidelines, that didn't seem to have any attachment to the players on the field. So I think number two is, whether it's a teacher, coach, or mentor, somebody who, while giving criticism, is able to do it in a caring way. And I think that connects back to number one, which is taking a personal interest in your child beyond just the environment that they're supposed to take an interest in. Okay? Now, the other side of the spectrum, a couple of coaches, I could go on and on and on, stories and stories, but a couple that really stand out for me. One, as our team was finishing a game, I looked over across the field, not the game that we were playing, but one just next to us. The boys had obviously lost. The coach was just out of control, in my opinion. He's yelling and ranting and raving, but what he does next really shocked me. Walks over, there's the bag of soccer balls, and proceeds to just kick the balls. Balls flying everywhere, balls hitting parents, hitting kids, kicks it a couple more times. What kind of example is that? Which brings me to the third and final point, which is really consider the long-term impact that some of these people are having in your child's life. You need to look beyond the short term, and the short term is being in what a lot of people would consider to be the best program, the one that everybody else has their kids involved with, whether it's club soccer or it's an arts program or it's an after-school academic program that everybody seems to be flocking to. Really get in and find out who these people are that are working with your kids, because they have such a dramatic impact. That's all for today's show. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care.